everyone, welcome back to another video from GenMedX. This video is the ultimate guide to results day. If you have a results day coming up, be it for A-levels, the IB, SQAs or BTECs, this is your guide to what to expect and how you can prepare so that you have a plan for anything that might happen on the day. If you're looking for a guide to GCSE results day, we've also done a video about that, so check that one out. This video is part of a series that we have on results day. So if you're looking for specific advice on how to approach clearing or adjustment, or you're struggling with stress and want some tips for keeping calm before results day, keep an eye out for the other videos we have on that. But just before we get into it, this video is brought to you by GenMedX. We are an award-winning organisation based in Oxford, working around the world to support current and future aspiring healthcare professionals. To find out more, head over to our website, generationmedics.org.uk, or click the link in the description. And make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss other videos like this one. Okay, so first of all, when is your results day? So if you were studying for A-levels, in 2021 your results day is on Tuesday the 10th of August, and the same goes for SQA results. Remember that this date only goes for 2021, so make sure you know the specific date of your year, and it will probably be around mid-August as well. BTEC results day is very similar, with BTEC results normally being released on or just before A-level results day, so again this year that will be in the week starting Monday the 9th of August. This does depend on your school or college, so just be aware of that. It may not be on the same day as A-level results day, it could be just before or slightly after. If you did the IB, your results day is pretty different. IB results day is much earlier than A-level results day, and this year it was the 5th of July, so congratulations to you if you already have your results. In the past, IB results have always been released on the 5th of July, and they can be accessed online from the 6th of July, but I can't guarantee that this date will always be the case, so make sure you check when your results day is for your year. What normally happens on results day? If you go into school on results day, this will normally be in the morning, and your school will tell you what time it opens. When you go in, you may have to queue up to get your results, and these will most likely be contained in an envelope. You might be asked for some photo ID in order to collect them, so if your school has warned you about that, then don't forget to bring it. You may find that some of your teachers are at school and would like to discuss your results with you, either by giving you advice if you didn't do quite as well as you had expected, or they might just want to say well done to you if you did well. You'll probably see lots of your friends who are also collecting their results, and you might find that some people will be quite keen to share what they got. Remember that you don't have to tell your friends what you got if you need some time to process it. Everyone deals with receiving results in different ways, and if you'd be more comfortable opening them at home away from lots of people, that's definitely something that you can do. Most people will go into school or college to collect their results, but your school will probably have an option where you can either tell them that you will have someone else going in to collect them for you, or you can get them posted to your house. If your school hasn't been clear about this, get in touch with the exams officer who will tell you exactly what your options are. If you've applied to uni and you need a certain set of results to get in, you might be feeling extra stressed about getting good results. UCAS will normally update on the morning of results day to tell you whether or not you were accepted from your firm or insurance, which will give you an idea of what your results will look like. You can usually check UCAS before you go into school and get your results. This is what I did, and I found I felt a lot calmer walking into school knowing that I'd gotten into uni. But other people prefer to go and get their results first, so they know what to expect when they open UCAS. There are a few ways that results day could go for you, and I'm going to talk you through your options for each of these scenarios. But whatever happens, you should try to be proud of yourself. Remember what you've achieved. Even if your exams were cancelled because of the pandemic, the last couple of years would have been a real challenge, so massive congratulations for getting through it. What if I get lower grades than expected? If you're relying on certain grades to get into uni, and open your A-level results to find that you've missed the grades to get in, there are a few things that you can do. If you were really close to meeting your offer, maybe you narrowly missed one of your grades, first check UCAS because you may still have been accepted into your firm, and UCAS is a place where you can find that out. If your firm has not accepted you, however, you might still be able to get in touch with them and ask if they would still accept you. Unfortunately, many uni courses are really oversubscribed, which means that even if you've only missed your grades by just a few marks, it may be that your firm choice will still not offer you a place. Remember that you'll probably have an insurance choice that you may have still gotten the grades for, and if you haven't got into your firm but still got the grades for your insurance, then congratulations. Your UCAS track will update to say that you've been accepted. But if this isn't the case for you, maybe your grades weren't enough for your firm or insurance, or maybe you've decided that you don't want to go to your insurance uni after all, then what else can you do? You've probably heard about clearing. If not, then check out the previous video that we've made, which goes into a lot of depth about what clearing is, how you can get a place through clearing, and everything that you need to know about the process. We also have a video on some of our top tips for going through clearing, so do give that a watch before results day so you're as prepared as you can be, just in case things don't go as you hoped. We'll link those videos for you in the description box below. UCAS clearing is a system which allows students to get places on university courses that they didn't originally apply to, but you should know that not everyone goes through clearing because they missed the grades for their firm. You can also go through clearing if you've turned down another offer because you changed your mind about the university or course. When you call up a university in clearing, the conversation that happens down the phone can go one of a few different ways. You could end up just having a discussion about whether or not the uni has any places left, and it might end up being a simple discussion about what grades you have and whether or not they have a place for you. Sometimes, however, the phone call is much more like an interview, where they're trying to decide whether or not you would be suitable for their course. This means that you have to prepare for clearing in advance, and we've discussed that topic in our videos that I mentioned earlier. You need to explain why you want to study that course, and also why you want to do it at that uni. Just because a university has places through clearing doesn't mean that you'll be guaranteed a place, and you'll still have to demonstrate why you would make a good student on their course. Typically, clearing opens right at the start of July, in line with IB results day, although that may be well before your results day if you've taken a different qualification. You can't enter clearing without your grades, but that doesn't stop you from exploring your options and doing research before results day. It's by no means an instant process, and you have to be patient and exercise resilience through it all. However, clearing is not the only option for you, and if you end up with lower grades than you expected, you may decide that you don't want to go to university that year. Maybe you want to spend a bit more time considering your future options rather than getting a place through clearing. You may want to consider taking a gap year, and I'll talk you through your options for that later in the video. Should I get any of my exams remarked? Just a word of caution before I get into remarks. If you're watching this in 2021, as you'll know, your official exams were cancelled this year, but you'll still be getting a grade on results day. Because of this, the process of appealing your grades will look a bit different, so you might want to skip this section and go to the next one, where we'll be discussing how it's going to work in 2021. If you're watching this at a time where you know that remarks might apply to you, however, keep watching. So the thing with talking about discussing whether or not you should get any of your exams remarked is that it really depends on the situation. This is why it would be a good idea to talk to your teachers, because they know your ability best and should give you their honest opinion about remarks for your specific situation. One scenario in which you may well want to get an exam remarked is if you were really close to the next grade up, and especially if that grade is a difference between you getting into uni or not. However, if you're quite a way off the boundary for the next grade up, it's much less likely that a remark would take you to the next grade. Remember that your grade can go up or down after an exam gets remarked, which is why you're advised not to get one if your mark is sitting quite low in a certain grade. Normally, if your place at uni is resting on you getting certain grades, you can apply for a priority remark. You should let your uni know as soon as possible if you're getting an exam remarked, because they don't have long until they need to decide whether or not they'll be offering you a place. There's normally a date, usually at the end of August, by which universities have to make a decision, and it's not guaranteed that remarks will be completed by then. You also have to pay for exams to be remarked. This is typically £40 to £50 and will be more if you're going for a priority remark. As you can tell, deciding whether or not to get an exam remarked depends on a number of factors, and as I said earlier, it's really important to discuss it with your school and teachers and let your university know as soon as possible. The actual process will vary slightly depending on your exam board, but your school will probably do most of the work for you, although they do need your permission in order to get an exam remarked. Can I appeal my grades in 2021? So now that we've discussed what normally happens when you get a remark, let's move on to how it's looking different in 2021. But the main thing to note that this year there's an appeals process rather than a remark one. If you're not happy with one or more of your calculated grades, you could talk to your school about the appealing process. You should also be aware that the details will differ depending on where you live in the country, based on rules laid out by the different exam regulators. The UCAS website has collated information about what the current plans are for 2021 appeals, so we'll leave a link to that in the description box below. As for exam remarks, the main advice for appealing calculated grades is to talk to your school. Politely let them know what grades you're not happy with, and they'll submit a request to the exam board on your behalf. If your calculated grades meant that you missed the offer for your place at uni, and you decided to appeal one or more grades that may end up in meeting your offer, let your uni know as soon as possible. I can't stress enough how important it is to keep your uni updated if you want them to consider holding your place. And remember that they're also working under a time pressure to get everything finalised, so let them know as soon as you and your school decide that you'll be appealing your grade, and keep them updated if anything changes. What if I get higher grades than expected? Remember that results day is not all doom and gloom. There's a chance that you may exceed your predicted grades, and that might make you reconsider your original plan. This is where adjustment comes in. Again, we have a fantastic video which explains what adjustment is, and that's what we link below, but I'm mentioning it here just so you know that it's an option. UCAS adjustment is for students who have met and exceeded their grades to get into their chosen universities and want to look for an alternative course. It's completely optional, and many competitive courses will already be full, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't consider it. Every year there are students who don't quite get their grades, or students who switch to different courses. If you try adjustment but don't find another course, you can still keep your place on the course you were offered on results day. As with clearing and pretty much all things results day, it's a good idea to ask for advice from teachers who will help you decide whether or not it's a good idea for you. You can register for adjustment through Track, and you have a set period of time, currently 5 24-hour periods, to use it. The process involves calling universities and asking them if they have vacancies. You'll have to tell them that you're applying through adjustment, and once you tell them your personal ID, they'll check that you have in fact met and exceeded your conditions. Make sure they know that at this stage you're only gathering information, and don't verbally accept an offer unless you're really sure that you want it. You can only accept one offer through adjustment, and once you've done that over the phone, they'll update your UCAS to show that you have an unconditional for their course. Remember that even if you apply to adjustment, you're under no obligation to accept any offers from it, and if you don't accept a place from adjustment, you'll just keep the original place that you were offered on results day. Even though you might be excited having got higher results than you were expecting, take care not to rush into accepting an offer on a course you haven't researched well, and always talk to your teachers who will give you their advice. All the information you need about adjustment is covered on the official UCAS website, so we'll link their 2021 guide below. Remember to read all the information clearly and pay special attention to dates and timeframes. Should I take a gap year? You might find yourself in a situation where you need to rethink your original plan. Maybe you're a few grades off your entry requirements, or you've changed your mind about the course or uni and you feel like you need longer than the short clearing timeframe to reassess your options. Maybe a gap year is something that you should consider. Now, we do want to stress that you should talk about this with someone, maybe a teacher, family member, or mentor, especially if this is something that you haven't considered before, because you don't want to rush into it. But equally, you don't want to rush into a uni course that you're not super passionate about. So remember that the option is there. There are a few things that you can do in your gap year. Of course, the stereotype is to go travelling and have a break from education, but this is by no means the path that every student takes on their gap year. You could work for the year and save up some money for when you start uni. Maybe you did get a place, but have decided that you'd like to defer a year and start next year. You should get in touch with your uni to discuss the possibility of this if you hadn't applied deferred in the first place. There's no guarantee that they'll allow you to do this, but if it's something that you really want to do, give it a go and see what they say. Maybe you missed your grades, and in that case you'll have to resit the exams and reapply through UCAS in your gap year. Even if you did get the grades, you could still reapply in your gap year if you've changed your mind about the decision you made in your first application. Again, we'd highly recommend that if you're considering it, that you speak to someone like a family member or teacher about your options for a gap year, because it's a pretty big decision and you don't want to go into it unless you've really thought it through. Okay, so that's all for today's video. I hope it's got you thinking about all the possibilities for what could happen on your A-level, IB, BTEC or SQA results day. Remember that although you may be feeling a lot of pressure to get certain grades, put it all into perspective and remember that whatever happens, you'll always have some options for what to do next. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below to let us know what you think and what else you'd like to see from us. Remember, we have lots more support and advice available on our website, generationmedics.org.uk, so do take a look. If you're already a member, jump into conversation on our forum, and if you're not, then why not join? See you again soon.